can't remember the exact details of that, but there it is. The beacon itself is immaculate. It doesn't seem to have been affected. And we get the feeling as we're investigating this that we're being watched. And the ground is very much consecrated. Long story short, we're surprised by an unknown figure as we discovered two, shall we say, unconscious figures in the pile of rubble.
I mean, they weren't really unconscious. Consider how you guys woke them up, or woke one of them up, rather.
Yes, the famous rock alarm clock.
Yep, I remember well.
Rock alarm. Patented trademark. Yep.
How's that bump on the head, Fia?
Not great.
So we see
shall be swift.
Indeed. So we see this unknown figure, about 5'8", 5'11", loose but restrained attire, mercantilistic in its appearance, and it's obscured with a cloak and a mask. They have a symbol on the forehead, and an arm harness and some sort of glove, which we found strangely familiar. We took the captives to interrogation, where we met Enkindler Venin, who is our favorite uncle. His specialty is support, and he brings a mad coffee and donut game. We do have access to an Enkindler database as well, something that he showed us, I believe, or demonstrated.
Yeah. I mean, you guys as Enkindlers would have a decent experience of it varying between all of you. But as players, that was just the introduction of it, I suppose.
Yes. He brought us as well 6 portfolios detailing a number of individuals. We have Alexander, Nestor, Aria Zeris, Bernard Menace, and Hilbrent, as well as Sigurd Teff.
Fancy.
I believe that's all of them.
Yeah. 6.
They've been here, all of them, for about a month. And the last thing we did was conclude the interrogation with a man who calls himself Korik. He seemed to recall very little except a name that rung a distressing bell for Eleni, as well as being in possession of a very peculiar hilt, which I believe has Eleni asking herself some disconcerting questions. And where we were supposed to pick up, I believe, is the interrogation of the other prisoner, who calls herself Fia.
Yeah, she might be lying. So, let's get into it, huh? So, Bohan has just returned back down from having escorted Korik back to his quote-unquote cell. Not really. It's not like you guys are in a prison right now. It's more of an appropriated outpost. There's a term for this, eminent domain. That's the term for it in the U.S., where the U.S. government is allowed to take over a building if they need to. I think SWAT does it pretty frequently. So yeah, Bohan has returned, and you guys are just sort of ruminating about all the details that just got told to you all by Korik. And thus, I change the music. Haha. So, you guys are just all still in your various perches. Eleni sitting at the table. Some of you are sitting or I guess more leaning or chilling on the wall. wallflowers in your own rights. You guys just sort of doing what enkindlers do, which is say, being smart, investigating, enkindling your own minds as to the details of this incident. Well, I suppose I wasn't as bad or as awkward as I was anticipating. Eleni remarks as she stands up from the table. You guys are out of coffee and donuts, by the way. Shame.
No.
She does like a cursory look at the little canister that Betty had brought the coffee with. Gives it a shake. The rattle of the lid just.
Yes,
He is bringing refills, I believe.
I believe so.
Joy. So, what do you all think? Very. She sets the canister back down. Just, just it rattles. What do you all think? Very weird.
Cork is not in the room.
Yeah, that's.
Cork is not in the room, correct?
No, you're already back in the cell.
Noted.
Well, it's certainly weird.
Most peculiar.
Yes. He appeared to be telling from what I could tell, but it was a bit fishy, if you know what I mean. Don't laugh.
That was Garth. Shut up.
How dare you?
You're, as you say this, Eleni, your gaze lingers on the the gills that she has.
Oh fuck! I never connected that.
Pun excused. Yes, quite fishy.
Doesn't seem to be lying. He just seems
Apologies.
what he believes is off.
Which is what I think so weird about it.
It does concern me slightly that there is this in question, particularly. Bohan points to the hilt.
Yes, I mean, how did he say he met a princess again?
He didn't
He did not.
entirely know.
Didn't know. Okay.
It was like on a type of mission, but he kind of didn't know what the mission was.
That was it. That was it.
You guys hear from the corner. Eleni just looks like unamused. Impertinent as always from Rutabaga.
Has
Well,
he
you
been
know how
asleep
he
the
is.
entire time, or did that just happen?
There will be no waking him at this point.
I mean,
Might as well let him sleep.
yeah, he's an old pincher. Yeah, it's. I feel like it would be more dangerous to wake him than not.
He'll likely snap at you. Quite literally.
Yes.
Yes. Well.
Yes, he
As
might
he
lack teeth,
snores.
but
It's like a pattern. Like when he snores, he sort of rescinds slightly back into his shell. But then when he like exhales, he comes back out of his shell back to his original stance. And then he'll go back in a little bit. It's sort of endearing in a weird way. The genuineness of his tiredness. Well, I doubt Rutabaga would have much to ask. Other than offering more cutting remarks.
If
Well, like I
the young man in question does not remember how he came to be in possession of this blade, perhaps his accomplice might shed some light on the matter.
Perhaps.
Possibly. Well, nothing else to do. Anything else to discuss, or shall we just move on?
Do you want me to continue heading the interrogation? I have the focus for it still, but if any of you have a keen interest.
I think that probably be best.
Well, there's that caffeine kicking at least.
That's meh.
Don't worry, speak clearly. Deep breath, you'll be fine.
You drink some water, dear. Oh, and he like still is like looking off and away, thinking about something.
What are you thinking?
There's I don't know how to say, a conflict of validity, I can tell. We can all tell.
Yes, I noticed when he mentioned, when I go back and remember what his name was, Callaghan?
Fancy.
Galahad?
Callaghan. I think so, yeah.
King Arthur. Kaladin.
Callaghan.
King Arthur.
Yes,
Yes, Kaladin Devane. I believe he meant.
yes, that's it. Well, I've never actually met the fellow, but I know of him anyway. Definitely seemed to be the man, but there was some stuff that wasn't really adding up. So he didn't appear to be lying, which is curious. And I suppose that was enough to cause me a little bit of confusion at the very least, you know?
Yes, by your account, this Kaladin person sounds like quite a young upstart.
Well, yes, definitely. He's not. Why hyped him as?
You like hard spiked in terms of lag there. Like you went robot for a second.
Oh, sorry. Am I okay now?
Yeah.
You're okay now. My recommendation is to stop downloading pornography.
Damn it!
I know
But
it's got
I
a
will-
grip on you, but just once. Once
It's
a
a
week.
problem that I can't help, okay?
Oh, that's fair. But yeah, I don't know like if it's Discord's in on your end.
I don't know, my internet tends to go a bit. It's been
Acting up.
going a bit funky earlier.
Well,
it's
hopefully
backwards.
it's not too bad. That was the only major part of it I noticed up until
Mm.
now. There were some weird bits before, but the entire time you're doing your spells and stuff, you're totally fine. So I guess
Okay.
your internet is aware of when we're actually playing.
Yeah, yeah. Let me know if it happens again. I'll try
Very well.
doing some. I don't know, maybe reboot the start
do-
the box or something.
Do some gizmo magic. Gotcha.
Hmm.
Technomancer.
So yeah, anyways, back to it. I want to see with Fia, her name was. I want to see if the trend continues.
Yes, definitely.
One
So much
does
for
not make
numbers.
a statistical science. Neither does two, but two is better than one.
So we are looking for points of commonality.
Indeed.
Yes.
Points of commonality, conflicts of validity.
Understood.
To be honest, if it wasn't for the, I don't know, blunt manner in which he gave the information, I might think he was suffering from not a concussion, that's a bit too physical, but more of a mental concussion, if you catch my drift.
Yes, of course.
Yes, the poor fella did seem a bit behind.
Our crazy spies. When he just looks at
Spies, we're
Rutabaga.
not too stupid to be
Uh,
spies.
He's very perceptive, even in his sleep.
I mean, that doesn't really surprise me that much, actually, considering.
Yes.
Oh well. But yes, should we sort out some questions to ask beforehand, or shall we just
Yeah, let's go for it.
wing it?
She just holds that her hands open, like in a palm up manner, like up to you.
All right.
Shall we have Bohan retrieve her, or does someone else want to?
I don't
Not
mind.
bothered. Well, off you go then.
So Bohan, you head on up.
Yeah.
Head on up. Your Enkindler badge bypasses words and such like that, and you go and retrieve Fia. Fia you are retrieved. I don't know what you've been up to this whole time. Maybe, I don't know, looking at your spell list or something. I don't know, something crazy like that. Multi-classing, new classing, or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, you're retrieved.
Mm-hmm.
But, well, I am serious though, and asking, like, what have you been up to this whole time? Have you just been sort of just chilling? Sitting there?
Yeah, probably trying to piece together what's going on. So obviously I've had a bit of time to sort of let things settle, so as it were. So
Real fair. That is fair.
yeah. Also, the fact that I have literally just changed class, so she's probably a bit like, "Oh, what? I feel a bit weird. What's going on?"
Again, like I don't know if like that's something Thea is cognizant of in Traverse Town, or if it's just like because of the Traverse Town effects on her. She's like, yeah, I just haven't always been able to do a shit like this.
Yeah.
That's up to you.
Okay.
So yeah, you are retrieved and brought downstairs by this older, well-armored, well-kept gentleman.
Hands where I can see them, no funny business.
Reminds you of Hillbrand in a way, just most of the older gentleman bit.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, sure. Not really in any condition to stab you anyway, looking at you.
No.
Good remarks to give to the cops. Does Fia carry a weapon on her? I know Korik had something, but
he had daggers. He had daggers. No, she had daggers. I noticed on her list. I think she does have a sword.
If you want to change the sex of your character, you know, do whatever you want. I ain't judging here.
Cool. But yeah, I think
no dagger, no nothing. Like
well,
present.
she does. Oh, present. Actually,
Like,
probably not.
Do you keep it hidden? Is what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know. It's tucked in your boot or something. I don't know. Classic spots. It's underneath your armpit or something like that.
I feel that's just a dangerous way to slice your arm.
No, people keep knives there all the time. That's also why people keep their guns.
I mean, yeah, for the guns that makes sense, but a knife, I feel like you're like right next to like a blunt. Whatever.
Bohan is going to.
If a knife is cutting through the sheath you put it in, then I think you might have bigger concerns about getting where you're getting your sheaves from.
Yeah, Bohan is going to just sort of do like a quick observe really quickly if there's any weapons. But he's so unperceptive. His wisdom is so low, so that he's not gonna roll.
Well, no, this would be like a pat down.
Yeah.
This would be a pat down. It'd be a perception check, but instead of using wisdom, it'd be using your dexterity.
Okay.
So it's like dex plus prof if you're proficient in perception. But if not, then it's just a straight dex check.
We'll do it at disadvantage because he's going to be a bit flustered because it's a woman.
Yeah, do what you want.
He is a respectable man.
So
He's a gentleman.
So it would be what?
So it'd be dex plus prof at disadvantage.
Gotcha.
Oh, so you have 3 saves? Oh, you got resilient, right? Never mind. I'm drunk.
Yeah.
Let's go. What's the worst that can happen? Double nat ones. I guess only one nat ones here, but it'd be funny if it was double nat ones. I had a guy on Wednesday. He had guidance and stuff on him, and there were 3 separate instances where he got max rolls for both the guidance and the roll itself. So it was just double green, and it was beautiful.
Nice.
Hey, 7.
Combined, it's a decent roll. Or decent, it's a good roll.
Let's see. I don't know. I guess I'd have to ask Kirsty as the creator and player of Fia. How awkward do you want to make this apparently really bad pat down? It could be as non-awkward and straightforward, or as awkward as you want it to be.
Bohan is kind of like doing the pat down, but he's looking away, that sort of thing.
I think that's just. You know what? Yeah. Let's make this awkward.
That's the spirit.
Yeah. So if he's like deliberately looking away, I'm just like, what the fuck? Yeah, sure. Arms up.
It's like going to the airport security.
Yeah. Just sort of standing there still, just like, just like deliberately trying to kind of keep my arms down away from the where the old daggers.
Trying not to breathe.
I mean, yeah, no, dagger is
Shifty eyes.
dagger undetected. Awkwardness highly detected. Interesting.
Maximum detection on
Not-
awkwardness.
Good. Weird forecast today. So, yeah, Brohide, you believe that normally a proper pat down would be like a series of like pairs, like paired taps and stuff like that. You know, a proper pat down. Probably like a dozen or so. Yeah, you think this pat down of about like, I don't know, 4 pats. You know, it's good enough. She doesn't look like she's on anyway. Look at her. Maybe she was like, what are her chances of her doing anything? That's whatever. Yeah, it's good. So you bring her down.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely no weapon on this one. I checked.
Why is your face so red?
Well,
Perhaps
that's a
we
very...
perhaps we should have sent someone else after all. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm starting to regret that decision a little bit. Nevertheless.
Miss Fia, please take a seat.
Sure. Down I'll pop.
Down you pop.
Is it necessary for all of you to be here, or...?
It saves
Yeah.
time from having to repeat details.
Okay.